Imagine fighting for over 20 years to finally win the most prestigious prize in your industry. You survive a grueling tournament, you hit your finisher, you hold the WWE Championship high above your head. And then, less than 2 hours later, your boss tells you to give it to John Cena. In July of 2011, WWE was dealing with the immediate fallout of CM Punk walking out of the company with the WWE Championship. They needed a new champion, but what they delivered was the most chaotic and heartbreakingly brief title reign of the modern era. Today, we are putting Rey Mysterio's infamous 2-hour WWE Championship reign through the Rate That Reign leaderboard. Obviously, this title reign is a bit of an anomaly compared to most that we cover here, so let's see how he ends up today, and if we finally see a new lowest score on the leaderboard. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to see more, and comment who you want to see next. But for now, let's rate that reign. Chapter 1. The Bookends. As always here, we start with the bookends, how the reign began and how it ended. And no title reign in history gives you a worse case of emotional whiplash than this one. Our story all begins at Money in the Bank 2011, where WWE was experiencing the climax of one of its hottest creative angles of the 21st century. CM Punk defeated John Cena for the WWE Championship on the final night of his contract. He hopped over the barricade and blew a kiss to Mr. McMahon before disappearing into the crowd. And just like that, WWE's most prestigious title was gone, along with its most over champion in years. The next night, Vince would set up a tournament to declare the new WWE champion in Punk's absence before being relieved of his duties by the new COO Triple H. The eventual winner of the tournament would be the ultimate underdog, Rey Mysterio. Rey had been World Heavyweight Champion before, but this was his first time with the flagship belt. Rey would defeat Dolph Ziggler and then R-Truth to advance to the finals, where he would put away The Miz to open the July 25th episode of Monday Night Raw and win championship gold. The match was solid and the crowd was certainly on board with the win and seeing a crowd favourite like Rey holding the title. However, the title loss would undo all of that goodwill, as John Cena would defeat him for the title less than 2 hours after the title win. Triple H booked the match between the two pretty much straight after Rey celebrated his win backstage, leading to the main event championship match at the end of the episode, where Cena would defeat Rey clean as a whistle before Cult of Personality began to play in the arena. Looking back at this episode and rewatching it for this video, it's so weird to not hear an instant pop from the crowd, as this was the first time Punk would use this music, but nonetheless, CM Punk would return from his extensive hiatus of just 2 weeks to face off with the new champion Cena, holding his real WWE Championship above Cena's interim one. Overall, a really good title win for Rey, but it was completely undone by the bookend of the title loss, and then instantly overshadowed the second Punk returned and the angle between him and Cena. Mysterio was a complete afterthought here, just mere minutes after losing the title, and only 2 hours after winning it. For the bookends, I'm going to have to give Rey Mysterio a score of 8 out of 20. Chapter 2. In-Ring and Defenses. The task of giving a score for the in-ring quality of a title reign that only had one match is certainly an interesting premise, and a first for this series, but I'll certainly give it a go. Now this score is essentially just a rating for the quality of his match against John Cena, where he lost the belt. It was a pretty solid contest to be fair. Having Rey vs Cena for the WWE title on free TV is a wild concept that you certainly wouldn't get these days, and the match itself definitely delivered. Cena played the powerhouse perfectly and Rey bumped around like his life depended on it. There were plenty of near falls and finisher reversals, but unfortunately Cena would come out on top in the end. For in-ring and defenses, Rey gets a solid 11 out of 20 from me. Chapter 3. Character and Storylines. This is where the reign completely falls apart on the leaderboard. A championship reign is supposed to elevate the character whilst holding the belt, but in this scenario, Rey wasn't treated like a champion. He was treated like just another moving part in the Punk and Cena storyline. The only real drama of this reign occurred after he had just won the belt and got attacked by Miz. Alberto Del Rio would come out attempting to cash in on an injured Rey, but Rey would swiftly beat him up, sending Del Rio scurrying into the back. And that was about it. There was a brief segment of Rey backstage being showered in champagne by the rest of the locker room before being confronted by Cena, who would actually congratulate him on the win, to be fair. Triple H would then book the Cena match for later that night, and then he lost the belt. That was it. There was no storyline for Rey, there was no character arc, he was just the guy keeping the seat warm for Cena. I don't understand why they went about doing it this way, or why they couldn't just have Rey hold on to the belt till SummerSlam, having Punk's return be more dramatic, and having his absence feel a bit more purposeful than just a week or two away. It was a total booking blunder and an unnecessary disrespect to one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. So for character and storylines, I'm afraid Rey gets an awful 2 out of 20. Chapter 4, Crowd Connection. Now Rey Mysterio has always been a fan favourite to the WWE audience, a man you could just never turn heel because the crowd simply wouldn't buy it. So when he pinned The Miz, the roof blew off the building. The crowd loved seeing Rey as champion, which made it so much worse that WWE had him drop the belt on the very same night. The Cena wins lol meme can be perfectly captured by the events that unfolded on this very night, justifying everything that CM Punk had said to him during the build to Money in the Bank. WWE essentially held a coronation for a beloved legend and then immediately punished the fans for cheering for him by having the company poster boy snatch it away on the very same night. The crowd didn't agree with the booking here, which took away a bit from the crowd connection that this reign had, and so I'll have to give Rey a score of just 12 out of 20 here. Chapter 5, Legacy. When you look back on the summer of Punk and the iconic Cena feud, Rey Mysterio's blink and you miss it title run is nothing more than a bizarre footnote at the bottom of the page. He was the ultimate transitional champion in a feud that had absolutely nothing to do with him, and he had no business being involved with. I guess it's nice for Rey to be able to call himself a former WWE champion, but for the fans watching, it was no more than a head-scratching decision. To sum his reign up, all you had to do was watch the very next episode of Raw. Rey takes part in an absolute nothing tag team match, teaming with John Morrison in a losing effort to Miz and R-Truth, and the title win and the title loss are both barely even mentioned. To give Rey even a decent score for the legacy would be an outright lie, unfortunately, as this reign is no more than the answer to an obscure trivia question. So for legacy, Rey Mysterio gets a 3 out of 20 from me. The final tally. So, adding up all the scores from all 5 categories, Rey Mysterio's 2011 Phantom run with the WWE Championship gets a miserable score of just 36 out of 100. Placing him just above the bottom of our leaderboard. The main takeaway from this is just how bad Jack Swagger's run with the big gold belt really was, to be doing worse than a 2-hour run with the WWE Championship on a single episode of Monday Night Raw. Well done, Jack Swagger. But in all seriousness, this is just sad to see one of the absolute greats scoring so low here. It's an indictment of bad booking and ill thought out creative more than it is a diss to Rey himself. And, as mentioned earlier, Rey Mysterio would pretty much leave the WWE title scene immediately, while CM Punk and Cena would continue their feud for the belt. Rey would go on to face Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship about a month later, where he'd suffer an injury on his left knee, which would keep him out for about a year. Typical Rey and his left knee, eh?
I've had surgery 5 times in my left knee.
It was a beautiful moment that was unfortunately ruined by the harsh reality of corporate booking. But what do you think of Rey's reign? Do you think a 2-hour reign is better than no reign at all? Or was this the ultimate insult to a Hall of Fame career? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you liked this video, then why not subscribe to the channel to see more? Or click the video below to see how another legendary wrestler's only WWE title reign panned out. I've been Kane, and thank you for watching.